So we had a pretty big box office last weekend. Actually, the box office has been big for a couple of weeks, actually. It's been pretty good for theater owners. But Sonic 3 went up against Mufasa, and to really anybody that's been paying attention, it wasn't a surprise for them. I wasn't shocked. I expected Sonic 3 to do better than Mufasa, and it did way better than I think anybody thought it would do. $62 million opening compared to Mufasa. And looking at reviews and feedback from fans, most people seem to prefer Sonic 3 over Mufasa. I have my complaints on these Disney live-action movies. I'm not going to get too much into it here, but the TLDR, Mufasa, not a very good movie from what I've read. Some people might like it, but, calling it live-action when it's all CGI, I don't know. But in any case, Sonic 3 killing it. $62 million to $35 million. What can you do? Now, for people that were paying attention to this, they don't have the figures on here, but Mufasa has more theaters dedicated to it, and by that I mean screens at theaters, compared to Sonic. I think Sonic's got like 700 less. It's not drastically different, but nonetheless, I mean, Mufasa should be taken out of some theaters, and Sonic 3 should be given more, because it probably could have made more money. One of the problems here is that basically theaters have to give half of their screens to Mufasa and less than half to Sonic 3, because Disney have agreements with theaters. If you want to put their movie in your theater, you have to kind of agree to some stipulations. And the problem here is Sonic can't capitalize on its box office momentum. Now, if this is any other movie studio, by that I mean not Disney, they would take the movie that's underperforming, give it less screens, and Sonic would get more screenings. That way you could get more people in there, because obviously a lot of people want to see it. And they might be showing up to sold-out theaters. And Disney's thinking here is, well, they'll just go see Mufasa instead. And in a lot of the cases, that might be actually what happens. So, Sonic did pretty good so far. We don't have Christmas numbers yet, but it did pretty good on Christmas Eve. And it's expected to make a shit ton of money over the week. Now, the problem, and that Park Place here is making an article on this, and I think it's pretty informative, actually. Disney bullies theaters, forcing Mufasa on more theaters than Sonic 3, even as the Hedgehog earns far more. So, like I was saying, naturally, theaters would want to give Sonic 3 more screenings. You know how much it got over the holidays? 8 more theaters. That's right. They gave it 8 more theaters. That's it. That's embarrassing for Disney, because I'm going to be willing to bet a lot of these theater owners probably called somebody at Disney and was like, hey, we want to pull your movie down and put Sonic 3 in more, and they probably said no. Now, that's hypothetical, right? I don't know if that actually happened, but, I mean, I could imagine a lot of them want to do that, and they can't. Disney will say no. So now you've got this movie that's going to have empty theaters. There's going to be a lot of empty seats, and Sonic 3 is going to be jam-packed and potentially turning away customers because Disney won't let them expand the box office for the movie. And if you dare go against the biggest studio in Hollywood, and at this point they are, Disney is the biggest Hollywood studio by far. They're the biggest. They've absorbed so much shit. I mean, they ate Fox. They're the biggest theater. I mean, what's after them? Probably Warner, right? And it actually might be neck and neck between them and Warner, but I'm going to say Disney is bigger. And I'm just basing this on on the fact that, I mean, it's such a powerhouse. Warner really doesn't have the power that Disney has, even if they might have as many studios or whatever. Disney's a blunt instrument, and it just pounds its way through the industry. So what do? You say no? Well, then you might not be able to get their movies because they will withhold shit. I mean, they're very petty. And this is what probably helps their success is being so bloodthirsty. You know, it's just the way it is. So Sonic can't expand, and it's kind of being hindered by Mufasa. However, I mean, I think they chose to go against Mufasa. Paramount, I think, wanted to do that because it gets, I mean, everybody likes a fight. So it's entertaining to talk about this. People like to tune in for this kind of a video because, I mean, Disney doesn't have quite the goodwill anymore, and people like to see Disney get dunked on. After all the bullshit that they've been doing lately, it's fun to see that. So Sonic 3 can't expand. It's kind of sad because I would suspect this could be a much higher box office than it is right now. I think that's pretty fair to say. They were pulling a lot of shenanigans. You can tell that they're kind of pissed about this. You could see it on social media. I don't know if they've got that post on here. They don't. But on social media, they had a post where they're like, yeah, Mufasa's #1 in the world, which is bullshit. I mean, technically it is, right? But Sonic 3 hasn't rolled out worldwide. You know when Sonic 3 is going to roll out worldwide? Yesterday. So now we're going to have worldwide numbers for Sonic, and I wonder how that's going to go. And the reason they were posting that, by the way, that #1 in the world is because Sonic made a post saying #1 in America. So Disney followed that up and was like, yeah, well, we're #1 in the world, bitch. What do you think about that? And they got ratioed. Everybody made fun of them. I think Valiant Renegade got a community note put on them pointing out that Sonic hasn't rolled out yet, which is always embarrassing for Disney when they get community noted. I don't know if that's happened before, but it was pretty funny. But yeah, the gist of this, 8 additional theaters. That's it. 8 additional screens. Sorry, not theaters. So 8 additional screens in the entire nation for the #1 movie. So this is going to probably honestly help Mufasa's box office. I mean, think about it. A lot of people, movie theaters are open on Christmas, which is wild. Like everything's closed but movie theaters. And movie theaters usually actually do pretty damn good. A lot of families go to the movies on Christmas. I've never done that. But it is something that is for, it is something fun for families to do. Take the family out, go see a movie together. And it's usually these kinds of movies that they go see. So you're going to have a family show up, 6 tickets to Sonic 3, please. Sorry, we don't have the seats. Oh, well, I guess we'll see Mufasa instead. And I think that's working for them. Mufasa I think it did pretty good. Made let me check, because I think they did release Christmas numbers. Yeah, I don't have exact numbers. They're saying 13 million over on the box office subreddit. I don't know if that's true. I was hearing around 7 to 8. I don't know if this is accurate, but I believe it actually took Christmas. We'll see how this plays out. I think Sonic should be given more theaters, but they're just not going to allow it. So Mufasa might bully its way above Sonic. We'll see how it works out globally. It's early in the week. This is a big box office week. Some people have the week off. So we'll see what happens, but this is an interesting story. And what a shame it'll be if they actually beat out Sonic, because Sonic 3 is a better movie. Just by going off of what audiences are saying about movie reviews and so on and so on. Sonic 3 seems to be the better of the two, but, what a shame. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.